So this is the Camaro that we just picked up in Edson. Just got her on the winched it on. Now we went out to pick up the engine. We got a big LS engine here and a transmission, all the parts and pieces. So Brent's strapping her down. So this is the start of our Camaro adventure. We'll put her all together and see if we can't get a little bit of power out of the sucker. It's got the guy put a roll cage in it already. All sorts of fun toys.
We're getting ready to drop the LS into the Camaro. We picked up a set of these ICT mounts. They're actually quite nice for the price. They're pretty darn sweet. Nice kit, everything bolted on, no problem. We also prepped our old clamshells here. You're gonna have to take this little U off the back of it. We ground it down, repainted these already, just cleaned them up a bit. So we're gonna bolt those on to these mounts, these adapter plates. And what this does is it allows the mount to move back forward, which will push the engine back towards the firewall and put it in the original position of the small block Chevy, which I think most people that know about the LS conversions realize that's required, but hey, we're doing it for the first time, so let's see how it works out. So we had to modify our clamshell. You can see right here, we've cut out a section here and we rounded the corner so we don't leave any stress points. Also, I clearance it more this way in case we got to move the mount back after we get it in. We may have to clearance it more, but I think this is the position they go in, so we're just going to go with this for now and see how it goes. So just cut a little C notch out of your clamshell, you're good to go. You won't be able to run the lower air conditioning with this setup. You have to do a high mount kit. Okay, so we have our LS engine sitting in our Camaro. I'm pretty happy about that. I mean, there's a long ways to go yet, but the whole purpose of this project is to try to do a budget build. We want to get this car running, driving for around the $5,000 Canadian mark if we can. And with that in mind, this was originally a 6-cylinder manual car. So it had the 5-speed in it. We're planning on making a manual transmission car again, but for now, we have down here our 4L60 transmission because that's just the easiest, cheapest route to go right now. We're going to try to do this totally junkyard style. You can see the car. We got the car. It's in pretty good shape. It has some really good upgrades to it already. And thanks to Dave's beer drinking skills, we've been managing to get that car right in, that engine in there, no problem.
Brent and Dave went in there and put the transmission up and under and actually got that to mate up with it. So it's in the right position, which is very exciting. Which brings us to the point where we can actually start taking all this wiring harness and see if we can actually do something with it. So Brent tells me that if we get this, all we need is one wire out of this box, and then the other box has lots of wires we need. So we'll leave that one alone.
If you have the fuse box, which we do, you're gonna want the fuse box from the truck. We've got the truck right now. Literally, you have to hook up like 2 wires to this box and the one connector. So your middle connector here is all your fuel, all your engine controls, basically.
And that's the black one, right?
This one, it's still intact. You want to leave it intact. And then I think they call this the C1, but I'm not certain. That way, goes right there, and you need the one switch wire. That's it. So think of that as your keyed power, and that will power up this whole box, which will power up the engine.
Mm-hmm.
So literally that's it. You need the power to go into the fuse box, and you need that wire hooked up, and you're good to go. So we want to clean that up a bit and take all these wires out of here.
This looks very complicated, and I'm sure it is. I'm going to take this apart. First thing he showed me is take this blue clip, holds everything together, take that apart. So that's the first sort of locking phase. So that one goes in there, and then the orange one should, in theory, pop out. There we go. So do that about 50 times or so. All right, guys, so all those wires were in this white tray. Anyways, all that, we're gonna save it, of course, because we probably need to put some of that back together. But that's where it goes. We're ready to go.
Okay, I know it looks a little hokey right now, but believe it or not, we've got the fuse box wired up. We've connected our power wire, we've connected our ground wire, we've connected our ignition. So we got no headers or exhaust or anything on this, so this is really stupid, but we're gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna crank it over. Mike's gonna have to feed it a little bit of the throttle body cleaner. We're gonna see if we can get this thing to fire. We don't know anything about this engine, so now I don't know where the throttle body cleaner is either. Mike, have you seen it?
No, don't even know what I'm looking for. Oh,
There it is.
there it is.
There's not much in there. Let's open that up now. Oh, that's not going to go well. You might have to feed it while I crank it, but just let me get the starter key. I got it. Found the starter key. Okay. Fire extinguishers over here, Mike. So
Okay.
let's see if it makes. It's gonna be loud. Very loud. Ridiculously loud. This is so stupid. Okay, well,
She's turning over.
she's turning over. We might have to just feed her some gas. 3, 2, 1. I figured that was coming.
Okay, well.
It runs.
Just a small garage fire.
Orange to the
Just
fire
to make
extinguisher
sure.
was over there.
Well, we had to make sure it was going to run. I mean, you can't just take someone's word for it.
Don't be breathing too much of that in.
Way too much. Perfect.
Test fitting the Speed Engineering headers that we picked up for the LS swap into our 3rd gen Camaro. They actually fit pretty good. They've got a fair bit of clearance here. I can get my hand in between the steering shaft. Get some room down by the firewall there. It's pretty snug on this side, but not quite as snug as the other side, which I'll show you. And they fit good in here too, but it's a tight fit. We had to actually lift the engine up to get them by the frame rails and stuff. And I'll take you underneath the car and we'll have a look at them from that perspective as well. Okay, here you can see the other end of our bottom side, and where we were having some problems getting this in is right here. Could not get it by here, so that's where we had to give ourselves a little extra space and lift the engine up. And there's the frame clearance, starter clearance. I'm gonna have to do something with these wires because we don't want them. I guess we got a little bit of space there, but I have to put some heat shielding on them. It's definitely going to get warm, but they do fit. And on the driver's side, you can see there's our frame clearance. There's our clearance here, which is pretty tight, honestly, but I can't get my finger in there. So, but it's not touching. And then we're pretty close to the oil pan here too. But we do clear the transmission, and we did try an O2 sensor in here. It does fit, so that's good. You can see the transmission linkage here and the end of the collector. So it's tight, but they fit well. And they tuck up nice. Like there's the frame rail there. You can see that they're tucked in pretty tight, which when we come back here to the cross member might pose us some challenges, but I'm gonna have to fab up a new cross member anyways, because you can see that there's the transmission mount on the 4L80, and that's about 2.5 inches, 3 inches farther back. Our drive shaft is the exact fit. It ended up being the same length, so that was awesome. but our mount is not. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take some box steel and we're going to mount it in between here and then take some plates off of this to mount it up to the original mounting holes, and that'll move our transmission back. The other thing I'm going to do is we're going to have to pick up this torque arm. So hopefully we can come off our new cross member and make a bracket to the torque arm, just brace it up really good. You can buy aftermarket ones and they're reasonably priced, but I got to help a welder and I want to practice my fabrication skills like I said before, so I'm going to try fabbing up my own.
I got fire extinguisher on hand.
You ready?
Yeah, give her. Did good. Really good.
Okay, here we go, folks. We're going to try for a test idle. I think we've got everything figured out. That's turned off. So let's see how it goes. Looking pretty good. Very happy with that.
So these are parts for the 85 Camaro, and I'm going to open them. I'm not really sure what's in them, but maybe Dad will tell me. So the first one comes with like screws and...
You know what that is? It's, you can go a little faster.
And bubble wrap.
So that is our steering wheel adapter for our new steering wheel. Here, what do we got next? What do you think that is?
Something for a seat.
You think so?
For a seat.
This
okay.
is the exciting one, I think.
Yeah. Here, I'll hold the box. Oh, you got it. What is it?
A steering wheel?
A steering wheel? Nice. That'll help. Let's have a look at it. There you go. Show it off to the camera. Nice. Hey, that's not bad.
A shiny blue.
We're gonna have to see how that looks on the Camaro after, right? Get it all on there.
You bet.
That isn't. Actually, that's not bad.
It's not bad. The feel, the grip, it's not bad at all.
Feels okay. Sweet. Okay. Really? Giant bubble wrap? That stuff's expensive. It's almost as much as wood.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
All right, children. All right, come on.
Look at all that.
In there.
Very good.
2 brake hoses.
Excellent.
Nice. We need one for each side, so that's probably good. We got 2.
That makes sense.
We got a brake caliper.
Oh, sweet. Do we got 2 of those?
Yep. There's
Excellent.
2 brake calipers.
We need 2 of those. Well, that one's picking up a little bit.
No problem. At least it's warm. First warm day in a long time.
Where's that? Oh, brake pads. It's open brake pads.
And then there's whatever Dad just said.
Those are brake pads.
Oh, and the most important thing.
Oh, is that a new fridge magnet?
Another magnet.
Thank you. Excellent. It's a Studebaker this time. Sweet.
Cool. All right.
That's going on the washer.
So enough. We should have enough parts because when we bought this car, it was kind of a shell. Had no steering wheel, had no brakes, no brake lines, no calipers. Luckily, it had tires.
Yeah.
So we pushed it into the garage. Now we got the engine in. Now we're going to start working on the brakes and slap on the steering wheel. And the goal is by the end of this weekend to have it moving under its own power. So we can move it around the yard and get on to some other jobs or keep putting this thing together.
Well, now here's the awesome part. Where does the steering wheel go? Because we got one more trick up our sleeve that came in a little bit earlier.
Oh, good. Yes, let's put that together and show.
And we're going to show you what this is. If you don't know what this is, you know what this is?
Nope.
So imagine your steering wheel's on here,
Sitting right like that.
sitting like that. Okay? And this part's attached to your steering column. And you just do that, and your steering wheel comes off the car.
So this is still sitting on the car, and you can
Oh.
pull the steering wheel off, pop. It gives you way more space if you're
tight in there, which we will be because this thing has a roll cage.
Yeah, we're gonna,
Okay.
so that's called the quick release. Very cool.
Awesome.
Okay, well, as per our usual selves, we have no instructions. And there might be instructions, but we don't have them. And so we're just going to take our best guess at this, right, Mike?
Yeah.
What do you think, Nikayla? Should we take our best guess? Just go with it?
I mean, that's your style, but so okay.
Yeah, that's my style. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we're going to put the adapter on. And we got our nut here. It happens to be, I think, a 21 mil is what I was been handed. I would like to find a washer here, but we don't have one, so we're just going to run it on like this. And we're going to use the nut to press it onto the shaft. Okay, I'm not going to put it on all the way right now because we're going to be taking this back apart. We're not going to hook up our horn at this point because we're going to have to figure that out. So the next piece we're going to put on is the bottom of this adapter, which should just line up like that, get held on with some Allen screws.
Yeah, I suppose the steering wheel coming off in your hands at about 100, 120 would not be great.
Well, it wouldn't be the ideal situation, I'm sure, but
It's no fireball in your engine, but whatever.
I don't know. What are you saying, Mike?
Yeah, have you fixed that problem yet?
Yeah, that's long fixed.
Good.
I don't know if it was a problem. It was entertaining.
It's entertainment value. That's what it is. It's like driving by a car wreck. People want to see that type of thing, right? They just can't look away.
Yeah, these came in a lot of different colors, but black seemed like the right one for us, eh?
Yeah, well, it matches the column, right? So,
The whole inside of the car.
and yeah, the inside of the car is going to be black. We're going to stick with probably our theme for the project, which is black and blue, which is probably what we're going to look like on our first day of racing.
Possible.
Yeah. Right now, it's our budget build, so we're trying to keep things as inexpensive as possible. There it is. So, like I said, we'll worry about now. This has this
Oh, that's like
rubber
a
protector,
rubber protector. Okay, I was going to say.
and then it keeps the screws from dropping out. So we don't want to turn this upside down right now.
Gotcha.
Just peel this off. That's going to drive me nuts.
I was going to say, I don't think that's on the way we want it, but I think it was easy enough to move.
Yeah.
And so it is. So for a budget steering wheel, that's pretty cool. I kind of like that one.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You can definitely spend an awful lot of money on steering
Oh,
wheels,
no doubt about it.
but we did not. But I think it's pretty cool.
I'm going to get my head in shot. There we go.
See your lack of bald spot. You gotta start working on one of those.
I don't want to work. That's something I don't want to work on. Now, it's kind of important if you're going to solidly mount your seat in here to decide whether you're going to go with a quick release or not, because it does add a few
Yeah, it's
inches.
definitely a couple
right?
inches, probably 3 at least.
I mean, I could drive it, but
Well, someday you will.
There we go.
Okay, let's see if that's relatively straight. Not bad at all.
Okay, let's give it a test. There we go.
Is it just slide on? Yeah, okay. You don't need to do anything. That's
it.
cool.
We got ourselves a quick release steering wheel. We can now steer the car.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Soon, we'll be doing that around a racetrack.
Hey, Mike, to answer your question. We're at a critical point where we're going to see if it can move under its own power. What do you think about that, Mike?
I think it will move. I think it will make a lot of noise.
Yeah, there's no exhaust on
and
this.
move fairly slowly. But
Yeah.
I think it will go forward and backward. We've seen the tires turn, so.
Yeah, we did test that out. The tires do rotate. Not sure about the brakes. We did hook up the front brakes, so we have something, and I think the e-brake works. So,
Okay, well, that's good.
so we have some control over it. We don't have any coolant in it or anything like that, so we're not going to go too far with it. We're just trying to get it so it can move around the yard if we need it to, and get it in and out of the garage so we can work on some of the other short-term projects rather than this long-term project. It's been sitting in the garage for how long now?
Oh, maybe a month. Less than a month, though.
Yeah.
We only get after it like one day a weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of that's all the time we've been putting into it. Like So less than a month. This was a shell.
Yeah.
The engine wasn't in it, the transmission wasn't in it. I fabricated a transmission mount. I'll show you that a little bit later on. The wiring was fairly simple. Obviously it's not, nothing is as it's going to remain. It's going to get a lot cleaner than this. Things are going to be a lot better than this. But this is just to get it moving, and it's one of those milestones to kind of encourage you to keep going.
No kidding. To be honest, I didn't understand how we would get to this point in such a short time.
Yeah.
Granted, there's lots to do, but I mean, to be able to drive it out of the garage is going to be pretty crazy. From what it was nothing. There was nothing in it, no parts.
So from Fireball to driving. Now we'll see if it goes about as well as the Fireball in the first startup that we did. Hopefully it goes a little smoother than that.
Maybe a little smoother.
Okay, stick with us, and if you like the content, even if you don't like the content, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications, and leave some comments down below. It helps us out, gets us doing more projects. So you can all
Share it
kind of
and send it
follow
to your
along.
friends.
Yeah, send it to your friends. That'd be great. Thanks.
Find a better spot for it.
Yeah, we'll find out how low it is, because that hangs down in long freaking waves. Not as low as that power steering pump right now, but... Okay, let's keep an eye on this. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Oh, she sits low.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't remember it being that low.
That is the weight of the engine. Well, we got about 3 inches of clearance under that fan, man.
Yeah, that oil pan sits pretty low.
Oh,
We won't be doing any mud bogging today.
no, jeez, that's low.
Yeah, I'm so used to it being up around my chest to reach in for everything. Now it's way down there.
Oh, I like it though.
That's gonna sit real.
Well, when we get that low profile pan on there, it's gonna look real sharp.
Yeah.
Hey, there's no way we're getting the hood on, so let's just get that
Yeah, we'll just put it somewhere.
somewhere safe.
Wow, that's that's shockingly low. Now that it's been up, must have been at least a foot off the ground.
Well, remember the suspension's all upgraded and stuff in this, right? So this thing's set up for racing. So
Sitting low on purpose. Like,
Yep.
I mean, this is stomach pain. My goodness.
all right, let's do this.
Did you show them your invention?
No, not yet. We won't show them stuff like that.
Less than 2-inch clearance there.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's sitting definitely low in the front. Let's see what we'll have to do with the back. Backs up a fair bit. Looks pretty good though.
Slap a bumper sticker on it.
Yeah, what's the gold go fast stickers? Let's take a look at that oil pan. See how low that sucker is. Well, that is not a lot of clearance, folks. Yeah. All right, though. Moved under its own power. Stopped.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, when you pushed the brake or did you use the e-brake?
No, I used the brakes.